Hello and welcome to Time to Talk. Usapang Hollywood tayo ngayon, pero bago yan, please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, PH Time, and please press the notification button for future updates. At ngayon, let's go to Hollywood. Alam mo naman natin maraming artista ang nangangarap magpunta ng Hollywood. Pero meron naman ibang paraan para makonquer mo ang Hollywood. Isa na dyan yung maging Hollywood correspondent ka, tulad ng ginawa ng ating guest ngayon, friends, the Pinoy Pride, Yong Chavez. Hello,
Wow!
Yong.
Thank you so much. That's such a, flattering info. Maraming
We're so
salamat.
proud of you. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Good morning there, and it's midnight here.
Good
Yeah.
evening, ate.
We're talking to Yong Chavez from the Valley in California.
Mhm.
Yes. Okay. Yong, excited na. Ito muna ha. Pwede ba sample naman yung paano yung skills mga pala ginagawa mo sa ABS-CBN?
You mean like yung regular na
Yes.
Okay.
I love hearing that.
Kasi with the pandemic, some of the interviews via Zoom pa din, pero marami na in person ulit. And of course, before the pandemic, it's always in person. And so there are two kinds. So the red carpet and then the junkets. That's the usual.
Let's say parang Yong Chavez nagre-report mula sa Hollywood. Yung ganon. Kumbaga ako yung anchor sa Pilipinas.
Oh, okay. So what do you mean? So when I throw it back,
Parang it is Yong Chavez kasi parang ang lambing-lambing ng boss, di ba? Yong Chavez, something from Hollywood.
I always say Yong Chavez, ABS-CBN News here in Hollywood. That's what I always say.
Yeah. Teka, ito, I'm sure ako excited ako malaman. Sino ang first Hollywood interview mo?
Oh my God. Well,
Marami,
my very first one was for the first Avengers movie, yung kauna-unahan. So, hindi pa masyadong sikat noon sila Chris Hemsworth. I mean, sikat na but not to the level that they have now. And then Chris Evans. Natatandaan ko pa yung unang-una interview ko and it's with them. So, it's paired, si Chris Evans tsaka si Chris Hemsworth. And then, syempre, kinakabahan ako dahil first time ko yun, and hindi ko nga alam how to go about it. And then, pero syempre, that's what we do. We research. At least that's what I do. I really research a lot, and so with Chris Hemsworth, I talked about his career in Australia, and then kay Chris Evans naman, I talked a little bit about yung prior career niya sa Hollywood before he made it big with the Marvel movie. So kasama dun yung Not Another Teen Movie, di ba? Yung pelikula niya na comedy na parang it's a satire of all the teen movies. And then so I after no interview this parang ako nakahinga. Pag tayo ko na ganyan, sumama yung ko sa boom mic. Oh my God, so tayo agad si Chris Hemsworth, sabi niya, are you okay? Di ako naman sabi ko, yeah, I'm good. Tapos si Chris Evans naman, kasi he's from Boston, so he's a very sarcastic sense of humor. Sabi niya, that's what you get for asking about Not Another Teen Movie. So, from that experience, I learned to relax. Kasi, these are just people too, kagaya natin.
Kasi first interview pa lang, blooper na.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Pero sino ang would you say, nakapag-interview ka na ba na would you say mga 100 Hollywood stars by now?
Oh yeah, way more than. Kasi, it's, to be honest with you, and this is complete modesty aside, I've probably interviewed almost all of the biggest stars and some of them twice. So it's really a great blessing.
Sino pinakamabait? I can give you my list.
Ikaw muna. Sinong pinakamabait sa'yo?
Ako, Linda Carter, Sherry Ladd, Sandra Bullock.
Yes.
Agree ka?
I agree. Especially, si Sandra, ang natatandaan ko pa sa kanya, kasama niya yung anak niya during the interview for Bird Box. And the first time that I interviewed her, nabanggit ko pa na sabi ko, alam mo, when I was in, of course, I said this in English, when I was in the Philippines, I used to watch her movie While You Were Sleeping. Although it's one of my all-time favorite movies. And in the time pag nade-depress ka, parang feeling mo wala ka nang pupuntahan. And that's how it felt for me in the Philippines, na parang kasi I'm not I don't have any connection. I don't have any way of making my dream of being on TV come true sa Philippines, because I didn't know anyone. And so it was my unspoken dream. So during that time, one of the things that I tried to parang makawala dun sa feelings of being down was to watch While You Were Sleeping, because it just makes me happy. And so while we were setting up, I told her that, and she was just the sweetest. Na mabait talaga yun.
Yung mga kasama ko dito, ayaw maniwala na si Sandra Bullock ang pinakamaputing taong nakita ko ever in my life.
Really?
Di ba? Ang puti-puti niya.
Yeah. Si Emma Stone. Oh my God. That's really their complexion.
Pero ang sa'yo, pinakamaganda?
Oh, pinakamaganda. Jeez, I'm trying to imagine. Well, to me, ganda and sexy will always be Angelina Jolie. There's just something about her that when the first time that I saw her, kasama pa niya si Brad Pitt, and then said they were coming. As in, hindi ko napansin si Brad Pitt. Focus lang ako kay Angelina because she just has that presence, and then her face is so mesmerizing.
Ang pinaka-stylish?
Pinaka-stylish would be recently, I don't know if you know Sarah Shahi. I love her from this Netflix series called Sex Life, and also from Black Adam. Pero so like on the red carpet would be Halle Berry, Lady Gaga, yeah, yung mga yan. Talagang iba yung dating nila sa red carpet.
Yeah, pero ito, sino hindi masyadong friendly para sa'yo?
Oh my God, hindi masyadong friendly. Alam mo kasi depende. May mga time kasi na they're really not on. Alam mo yon, yung parang hindi sila talaga, kumbaga parang syempre, bigyan mo naman ng panahon na magkaroon ng personal na buhay. So I really don't approach them on a non-professional basis unless, talagang friendly. Like, if we're at an event, so that's the only time that I approach them. Yung iba kasi talaga parang, may panahon talaga na, they don't want to have their pictures taken yet, or they don't want to like converse kasi they're on their personal time. So you just gotta parang ano mo nila, tanggapin mo, not only tanggapin but respect that.
Okay, ito I understand na pag nagtatrabaho ka kasama ang husband mo.
Yes. Well, no. He has his own job.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, his job.
Supportive.
Oh my God. He has. Yeah. His job actually is the reason why I'm able to do what I do, because it's very stable and it pays well. And pero sinasamahan lang niya ako. The reason why is because there was a time na I still have to get a cameraman. Means madalas biglaan. And unlike in the Philippines na madaling makahila, dito hindi. Kasi may kanya-kanyang second job, may kanya-kanyang so yung time, hindi mo naman pwedeng sabihin sa studio, like sabihin mo, sa Warner Brothers, I'm so sorry, I cannot cover this very, very important event na nagmakaawa ako to get access. And then sabihin ko lang, wala akong cameraman. So, my husband very kindly volunteered to learn how to do it so that masasamahan niya ako when his schedule permits. So, yeah.
Kasi hindi naman all the time.
No, kasi like for junkets, hindi ko naman kailangan ng cameraman. So, pero pagka events.
Kasi sila nagpo-provide, di ba?
Yeah, so pagka events like, like mga red carpets, award show and all that, kasi ahead of time naman yun and mostly in the weekends. So, and tapos pagka naman premieres, sa gabi naman. So, malapit lang kami sa Hollywood. It takes about 40 minutes to get there. So, okay lang. So, like 2 hours at night is not a big deal.
Ano yun? Ibababa ka yan tapos magpaparada siya. Di ba yun ang pinakamahirap?
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's like sa Hollywood and Highland. Well, actually for that, you just go through the and then sabay na kami ang bababa, dala na yung equipment. That's how it is.
Okay, yung mga report mo, doon lumalabas sa Balitang Amerika. Tama ba?
TFC News na ang tawag ngayon. And then there and also ANC and TV Patrol.
Okay. So how often are you required to give reports para sa ABS-CBN?
3 times a week ang normal ko. But there are times na mas madami or depending on my schedule kasi when I'm traveling, minsan nag-excuse ako na sabihin ko, next week ako babawi. Because if I'm traveling, it's hard to file. Naranasan ko kung ano-ano nang naranasan ko, like when I went to Venice Film Festival, meron akong kailangang i-voice. So, I went to the airport lounge. Nagpunta lang ako sa may sulok and then I used my coat and then I did my voiceover na, and then para lang mapadala, para lang ma-filter yung ibang sound.
Send na yun.
Then send ko na. And then bubuuin na nila.
So, teka muna. Parang curious lang ako, no?
Mm-hmm.
Ang talent fee ba parang per appearance yun?
For me, because I'm actually a freelance. Alam mo, hindi a lot of people don't know because I've been doing this for a long time for ABS, but I'm freelance with them. So yeah, per story. But the thing is, napakabait naman nila na kahit na freelance ako, they make sure that I'm that I have my stories air and all that. And also to be honest, they offered to have me full time. But at that time pati my child was still in elementary school, so at saka middle school, so parang ang ko kasi pagka full time ka, ang hirap na pag sinabi sa iyo na you have to go to the airport kasi may artista na na-arrest or ganyan hindi ako makakahindi kasi full time ako. So and
anak mo doon.
Yeah, I know. And paano kung susunduin ko pa? You know how it is dito, 'di ba, sa Amerika, susunduin mo, and my husband is also working. So ako yung naghahatid sundo sa kanya at the time. So parang hindi ko kakayanin, and I don't want to ever be put in that situation where I have to choose, because I will always choose my child first. So
of course.
It didn't work out, but ang masarap lang is that kahit na I declined the offer to be full-time, they still made sure na that I can file my report. So for that, I'm truly blessed.
May day job ka ba?
Before. But now, yeah, up until last year. I just quit last year actually. I used to do subtitle for the deaf and hard of hearing for movies and TV shows. So yung mga lumalabas na captions, yung descriptive ng para sa mga deaf and hard of hearing, like lalagay mo door closing and stuff like that. So I do that, pero sa bahay lang, and I've done that. I did that for like 15 years.
Pero so pwede ba talaga, let's say kung Hollywood correspondent ka, mabubuhay ka ba solely on that job alone? O talaga kailangan mo talaga ng day job? O kailangan, in your case, kasi kailangan mo ng husband na supportive, who provides well? At saludo ko sa husband.
Yes. Well, depende. Kasi, when nung nag-aaral yung anak namin, like sa college, syempre you need, alam mo naman, mahal magpa-college dito. So, at the time, yes, it was necessary. And then, pero later on, sabi ko, okay na. At saka, Kasi I was supporting my mother and my sister. So talagang kayod, yung expression na kayod marino natin, that was really what I was doing kasi meron silang hospital bills na lagi kong and then of course I provide for them for their livelihood pang araw-araw nila. So yeah, but sadly they both passed away na. So it was for the longest time syempre parang it's both mabigat pero it's an honor to kind of really be able to provide for your family,
for your loved ones.
mm-hmm.
Pero in other words, kung let's say kung solong katawan ka, pwedeng mabuhay ka nga na correspondent.
Depende kung how you live your life and also kung magastos ka at saka kung if hindi ka pa settled, because living in America is very expensive. A lot of people don't realize because they only see it's dollars ganyan, but we don't convert it to pesos here. Dollars din ang ginagastos mo. So it's still very expensive. So but yes, if you have a regular gig like that, then yes, but it has a lot of parang mga bagay na nakadepende.
Yung ilang kayong Pinoy na nagko-cover ng Hollywood ngayon?
To be honest with you, for Hollywood, it's just me. For ABS-CBN, you mean? It's just me yung regularly ako lang talaga.
Yun talaga yung and yun talaga in an official capacity, you mean?
Yeah, in an official capacity na talagang 3 times a week meron akong report about Hollywood.
Yung mga ibang lahi ng mga Asyano, marami. Ano pinakamarami? Chinese or
yes. Iba-iba kasi well right now there are 2 kinds of journalists here, or actually 3. So the domestic, which is US correspondents, and then international, and then something like me, which is both domestic and international. So the domestic US, kasama doon yung mga hyphenated Americans like me, Filipino American or Korean American or Chinese American. So may mga nire-report sila minsan magkakasama na lahat ng Asians in one outlet. So nagre-report sila on all kinds of Asian news. So kung ano man yung ethnicity nila, it doesn't matter, but they report generally about all the different kinds of Asians. Yun ang domestic press. But there are people like me who are focused on Filipinos and additional lang yung Asian Americans.
Okay. Pero hanggang ngayon ba meron pang discrimination?
For us, for people of color, yes.
Ngayon?
Hanggang ngayon, but it's lesser, but yeah, mararamdaman mo naman na may
mararamdaman mo, anong experience mo?
Well, and this is my first experience covering, one of my first experiences covering the Primetime Emmy Awards. So I was at the very end of the carpet. Kasi talagang, alam mo, ginapang ko talaga yun to be able to have a spot on the carpet. And thankfully, I was able to connected with someone who was able to also work hard to get me in. So I was there, and then together with other international journalists. So may Indian, may iba-iba. So may Mexican. So lagi kaming nasa likuran. So dumating yung publicist, may kasama siyang junior publicist. Meron silang clipboard. And then pagdapat niya sa amin, sabi niya, "Oh, these are just international journalists. Don't mind them." It was just like, parang, my God. And you could also tell na pagka yung mga publicists dati makikita nila na international ka lang. Yun ang ka lang is that they're not gonna stop for you. But now it's changing. May mga may efforts na to also to talk with everyone.
Pero let's say artista ba, like may nakaramdam ka ba na because you're Asian, may Hollywood celebrity bang na-experience kang gano'n?
Ay, alam mo, thankfully wala.
Best behavior usually, di ba?
Yes.
Kasi parang takot lang nila.
Yeah. And also a lot of celebrities are progressive, liberal. So they are all about inclusion and being fair. So a lot of celebrities kasi meron silang, alam mo, mga artista may empathy sila kasi 'di ba when they have to play a character, they need to be able to feel. So mas sila, mas pusong mamo ng mga 'yon.
Mas ang yung sensitivity factor nandun.
Yes.
Teka muna, meron bang dyan, environmental journalism, meron ba?
Oh, wala. Oh my God, that's one thing. I remember one time, oh my God, hindi ko na lang sasabihin na. No, I can't. It's a Filipino co-production. And then may binigay na envelope and I'm like, what is this? So I had to I donated it to a charity and then gave them the receipt for it because unang-una that's really an ethical violation, and at the same time I'll get in trouble with my with ABS-CBN and also no, it's to me personally no. It's hindi talaga, and I'm not looking down on anyone who's participating on it. It's just not for me.
Saludo ko sa'yo. Pero ito ba, ito kasi ako, experience ko dyan, pagka yung, let's say, I'm sent there, and this goes for other parang Filipino journalists, interview Hollywood stars. Do you always start your interviews with Philippine questions?
No.
Hindi. Kasi masyado na lang sanay na, no? Kami lang talaga yun. Bagong salta.
Yeah, I'm so grateful because nung una kasi that's like in the first year probably sa ABS, I need to always find a Filipino connection. But I was able to kind of train like even sa TV Patrol, the very pangmasa, no? And I explained it to our news boss at the time, si Jing Reyes. I said, the Filipino connection here is me. I'm a Filipino journalist interviewing someone who matters in the global news. So that is the Filipino connection. So when I was able to explain it to them and they understood, that freed up anything. Siyempre nagtatanong ako whenever I just recently interviewed again Dave Bautista and he's half Filipino. So siyempre may Filipino question ka for that. Or if someone filmed in the Philippines recently, so yun, may mga masusundot ka na ganun, but it's not necessary for me.
Well, I'm happy for you na transcend mo na yun.
Yeah.
So, pero member ka ng Foreign Press Association, right? Diba?
Yes. Yeah.
Bumuboto ka sa Golden Globes.
Yeah, okay. Twice pa lang. Yeah.
Twice pa lang. So ano nangyari kay Dali De Leon?
Here's the thing with Dali. Madami siyang supporters. I can tell you that much. Madami siyang supporters sa organization. But kasi we have now, unang-una, we're not allowed to campaign with other members. So I'm not allowed to, like, kaibigan ko, hey, iboto mo naman si Dali, or ganyan-ganyan. So we're allowed to talk about them, like for example, in an informal setting, and to cover them, syempre, kanya-kanyang coverage. But what happened with her is maraming magagandang performances ng supporting. So sabihin na natin, like, we have about less than 200 voters for this last Golden Globes. So it's law of averages din eh. So kung may let's say ganito kadaming bumoto for Angela Bassett, and then ganito karaming bumoto kay Dali, ganito karaming bumoto dun sa iba pang nominees. So, maaaring nakalamang lang yung nanalo ng konting points.
Yeah.
Konti lang. So, but you know, there's no second place. It's just the winner. Pero marami siyang, oh my God, ang daming nagsabi sa akin na dating members na members na, you know, I voted for Dali. Talagang nung napanood siya sa Cannes Film Fest, talagang iba yung dating niya talaga. Also, sa Hollywood kasi, and this is not known, and even si Dali told me na nagulat siya na kaya nagpunta siya dito is because for campaigning. Hollywood, the award season leading up to the Oscars, there's a campaign season. So talagang yung mga contenders, they meet up with all of the guilds, you know, and then getting to know them, and they have screenings. So kailangan active ka doon. So yun ang mga minsan nagkakatalo. Yung the way that people campaign, and then if there is a buzz for that person, which I really think that Dali did well for a first timer, you know, na nagawa niya yon.
Pero kahit ano pa, proud tayo kay Dali De Leon.
100%.
Mahirap yung ginawa niya talaga, di ba? Parang yung pa lang okay na yon.
Exactly. At saka nanalo siya sa LA Film Critics.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's an achievement in and of itself. People have no idea how hard it is. Even just yung unang step na mangyari sa kanya, yan, it's amazing.
Yung curious lang ako, kapag let's say Oscars, no? Siyempre nag-stand up sa labas, sa red carpet. But after that, pumapasok kayo sa loob?
Yes, I've had 3 different kinds of experiences with the Oscars. Kasi, you know, this is such an honor to be the kauna-unahan Pilipina to be able to go cover the Oscar red carpet, and I did that like 3 times. The thing is, at the time we were airing the Oscar awards sa ABS, and then they had to give up the airing rights, and when you don't have the airing rights, if you're a foreign country, and so they don't give you a spot on the red carpet. They don't even consider. So after that, I went there too, and then sa press room, you're able to go like take pictures, do your stand up sa red carpet, and then sa press room you can ask questions during the press conference. And then the third thing that I've experienced is during the pandemic, where, you know, there's a press room for virtual, and that's the time na nung nanalo si her, ako yung kaisa-isang nakapagtanong sa kanya, and my question to her and her response was the one that was, you know, broadcast all over by different outlets also, like mainstream outlets.
Pinikap ng lahat.
Pinikap ng lahat. Yeah.
Pero so dapat talagang bihis ka rin. So maggastos din ba pagka nag-cover ka ng red carpet?
Yeah, well, my thing is that I have a lot of the times I buy my own kasi I like fashion, you know. I like I enjoy it. I enjoy finding inexpensive but really nice gowns. But meron din naman akong kaibigan like Oliver Tolentino has been my dear friend for nag-umpisa pa lang siya dito, magkaibigan na kami. So I always borrow from him. And then you know, that's it. We have a relationship, and then there are other fashion designers na kaibigan ko who offer.
So tapos may balikan din yun, kumbaga. Hindi may pagkakataon ba nakakalimutan niya?
Hindi ko rin alam mo, hindi ko rin
So sorry mo talaga. Kasi hindi ka na makakaulit, no?
Talaga naman isuot ko ulit sa susunod na award.
Okay.
Diba? So, it will just occupy space sa bahay mo. So, balik mo na lang.
Gamitin mo sa Walmart.
Exactly. Yeah. Mamamalengke ako, nakaganon ako. Nakapang Oscar ako, ganon.
Yeah, meron ka na bang Hollywood celebrities na naging kaibigan?
Oh yeah, I mean I'm friendly with Nico Santos, yung sa Crazy Rich Asians na Pinoy. I'm friendly with Lou Diamond Phillips, with Tia Carrere, with Timothy Granaderos ng 13 Reasons Why. Well, Sumali Montano who's doing so well, and I think mano-nominate siya for producing as well. Sino pa bang mga naging friends ko na? Marami-rami rin naman, but mostly kasi I don't know if you're familiar with the movie Almost Famous, yung pelikula ni Cameron Crowe, where the character of Philip Seymour Hoffman said to this aspiring journalist na gustong who is actually eventually going to be writing for the Rolling Stone magazine. So nag-mentor siya dun sa teenager na yun who's so obsessed with his rock stars, and then sinabi niya ni Philip Seymour Hoffman, these celebrities, they're not your friends, you know. And that's something that you need to put in your brain, that they will break your heart if you consider it na friendship talaga yon, unless talagang may personal kayong connection, you know. So
like hindi sila tipong gusto parang how are you doing, man? Parang hindi ganon.
I mean, yes, you can have a friendly relationship, pero yung magi-invest ka ng into thinking na just because you have this rapport in an interview, that friends kayo and that they will remember you should disabuse yourself of that notion. Kasi
yung tipong sa sobrang close, pwede mo na kumbitahin sa birthday party mo.
Yeah, yun. Pagka ganon, then that's your friend.
Yeah. Pwede mo nang pakainin ng ng pansit at saka ng lumpia Shanghai.
Yes.
Pero so far wala pa.
So meron naman ako mga ganun na friends na, pero in terms of like yung mga big Hollywood stars, I try to talaga kasi professional kasi I also always put in my head, I'm not just representing myself or my outlet, I'm representing the Philippines as well. So ang ano ko lagi is I need to have a professional relationship with them.
Si Chang Meryl ba mabait?
Oh my God. I'm gonna tell you my most memorable day. As sabi ko nga, when that happened, pwede na ako mag-retire kasi because that is something that happened to me. So for the movie The Post, for one day I interviewed Meryl, Tom Hanks, and Steven Spielberg separately. So one-on-one yun. I mean, so when they came, so this was in New York, no? So they came 15 minutes early. So usually ang mga artista, kung hindi sila on time, late. Kasi di ba, on time or late. May mga artista sa atin na, may mga Hollywood stars na notorious for being late. Just a few of them, pero mostly ang mga artista doon is on time palagi. Pero si Meryl, si Tom Hanks, tsaka Steven Spielberg, 15 minutes early. So they came, no? So tatlo sila. And then you know how it is with junkets, nakapila kayo. So pagdating nila na ganyan, talagang they said hi. This was before the pandemic. So talagang kinamayan pa kami lahat, ganyan. They're so nice. So when I entered Steven's syempre parang oh my God, parang mind-blowing na this is Steven Spielberg, but that's always been how I do it. Parang kinukondisyon ko sarili ko, okay, this is just this is work, just go with your questions, and I have my prepared questions. So I just have a conversation with him about his filmmaking process and his filmmaking journey. And then with Meryl naman, nagkataon pa na medyo pareho pa kami ng pangtaas, kaya we were bonding, no? Medyo parehong floral na high neck. So we talked about, I asked her, because I was curious yung panahon niya na struggling actress siya sa New York, because she was a waitress in New York. So yun, she talked about that and you know, how that affected her or impacted her career and her acting approach to acting. And then this is one of my most memorable. Sabi ko, sana even when I'm old, I'll still remember that. When I entered Tom Hanks's room for the interview, nandun siya sa may window kasi he was watching the snow. Kasi he was like, you know, like marveling at, di ba, nakakatuwa kasi pa when the snow is falling down, like sa window, you still have that sense of marvel. So nandun siya, nanonood siya, and then pumasok na ako, and then nandiyan na yung mga camera people. So I went in and umupo na ako, and then ba't lingon siyang gano'n, sabi niya, oh, hi, I'm so sorry, ganyan. Tapos lumapit siya sa akin, tapos tumayo siya, tapos kinamay niya ako, sabi niya, hi, I'm Tom. Ang sabi ko,
like you didn't know.
I know, Tom. And then, you know, I just had a conversation with him, and I asked him about, you know, how he would want to be remembered and all those things, and the journalism aspect of it, because it was about the Post, you know, the Washington Post.
Anyway, so I'm taking the cue from yung humble beginnings ni Meryl Streep, no? But ikaw naman, hindi mo naman tinago yung when your time as a little girl in Batangas. Saan ba sa Batangas ba kayo?
Bawan.
Sa Bawan. Okay. Meron, ano pwede mong ma-share sa amin yung buhay mo? Simple lang, si Yong Chavez.
Oh, it was actually ang una-una kong kinalakihan na bahay, it's in San Antonio, San Pascual, Batangas, which is about 15 minutes away from Bawan. You know, it's a dirt road, and ang haunted house pa nga yung bahay namin, kasi yun yung kinatatakutan ng mga tao sa baryo namin, kasi may nakikita daw silang kapre sa ibabaw, but you know, I never saw it. So pero it's an old house kasi na, you know, dilapidated is the term that could be used to describe it. But so it was just my mom and my sister, and then eventually my brother later. But my mom was a single mom. My dad had another family. And my mom had a previous marriage. So yun nga yung ate ko.
Older brother.
Older sister and older brother ko.
Okay.
Yeah, but I was just me. Ako lang ang solo sa daddy ko who.
So sa union ng mother and father, ikaw lang ang product.
Yeah, ako lang.
Okay.
And you know, it was tough because my dad had his own family. And so whenever I go to town, nakikita ko sila, ako yung umiiwas, because you know, I don't want any kasi yung mga anak niya hindi alam na may iba siyang family at the time, hindi alam. So it was difficult to navigate that. Pero pag bata ka naman, parang yun lang ang buhay na alam mo eh. So it's you don't really dwell on it too much. What I dwelled on is the day to day, like yung anong kakainin namin ngayon, anong you know, because my mom was really trying her hard to support us. So that was tough, but you know.
So kinakain ay
Kung ano, like sa likod, thankfully sa likod namin meron kaming mga ano yung kamote. So minsan talbos ng kamote.
Talbos ng kamote, yeah.
Oo, at saka yung paborito ko yung yung tinola na walang manok kasi wala kami manok. So,
No,
tinola lang.
so papaya lang at saka dahong sili yun.
Papaya lang at saka dahon ng sili yun. At saka luya, di ba? So kasi
So yung manok, ini-imagine mo na lang nakasama
imagine mo na lang.
sa sahog.
Kasi thankfully maraming gulay at saka maraming may mga prutas din sa likod. Minsan naman ang nanay ko utusan ako dun sa kasi yung may poultry, ninong ko. So, bibili ako na ba ng isang itlog na pag-share na namin. So, bibili ako ng isang itlog. Yung ninong ko, pag yung ninong ko ang nagbibigay, bibigay sa akin yung basag. Alam mo yung, di ba? Yung shell na gano'n. So, bibigyan niya ako ng
Ano ka ba binibenta dito sa Pilipinas yun?
Kaya nga, so binibigyan niya ako ng ilang gano'n. So from isang buo at saka mga 2 piraso ng basag. So libre na yung basag. So yun, pero nakasurvive naman kasi minsan madalas pa na nararanasan ko. Alam mo yung magluluto ka sa labas, yung siit lang yung gagamitin mo and then meron ka lang na parang makeshift na lutuan, you know, because wala kayong
para may tubo.
Yes, oo. Kasi minsan
Okay.
wala kayong kuryente dahil walang pambayad ng kuryente. So nasa labas kayo nagluluto.
Kaya gumanda boses mo eh.
Oo,
Kaihip.
kaihip. At saka, yun nga, pero, you know, kaya natatanda ko yung yung tinola na walang manok, yun ang special eh.
Pero, teka muna, hindi mo naisip na isabit sa MMK yung next story mo?
Alam mo, I have so many friends who maybe nandiyan ba si Mouse at saka si Eric, baka yan ang aking pwedeng mag-manager na magsabi.
Yan, MMK.
Pang MMK.
Pupunta ka na sa kabila.
Wala na ba? Oh my God, I did not even know that.
Pero teka mo, kung sakaling let's say, natuloy yung MMK mo, binigyan ka ng choice, sino ang gaganap na Yong Chavez?
Oh
Sino
my
mo?
Alam mo ni hindi
Samahan mo na kung sino yung lalabas na leading man, yung husband mo.
Oh my God! Alam mo kung sinong favorite ko? And also because, and to be honest with you, no, I'll be very, very honest. Because my key results area is Hollywood. So hindi ako masyadong nakakapanood ng mga palabas sa atin. So yung the rare ones na napapanood ko because mayroon silang film fest entry. Like yung dito at doon, like with Janine Gutierrez. I love her. I love her acting and I love her as a person. So napakaganda niya. So hindi bagay sa akin, pero in terms of acting talent, that's what I want.
So in other words, so leading man mo automatic si Paolo Avellino kasi yun ang I think yun ang main choice ngayon.
Tingnan mo late ako sa yes.
Okay. Pwede na, no? As husband.
Yes. Di ba? Oh my God, nangarap no? Kasi di ba libre pang mangarap?
Oo naman, ito nga, abot mo yung pangarap mo eh. So, ang curious lang ako, well, you said naman na parang, your mom, ilan na lang natin tira sa loved ones mo ngayon, dito sa Pilipinas?
Sadly, both my mom and my sister nga passed away. And my dad passed away a long time ago.
Inabutan pa ba nila yung success mo, yung Rags to Hollywood na success?
Yeah, yes.
Inabutan naman nila.
So, it's, you know, yun nga, minsan papaiyakin mo ako, para ka naman si Oprah yung, yun ang nami-miss ko kung minsan, yung like magte-text ang nanay ko na sabihin niya, napanood kita sa TV Patrol, napanood ko yung latest mo. Natatawa pag ako nung minsan tinext niya sa akin, sabi niya, anak, napanood ko yung report mo yung tungkol sa taong bakal. Sabi ko, taong bakal? Yung pala Iron Man. Yung pala yung Iron Man. Sabi niya, in-interview mo si Robert Downey Jr. So yung pala, but you know, my mom is, and my sister were my, you know, biggest supporters. Kaya nung nga lumabas yung, kasi bihira ako magpa-interview, like, may mga nag-ano na before na,
That's why
pero
we're so thankful. Yeah.
kasi parang ang ko is I like telling the stories, but parang, pero kung minsan naman, like, as I grow older, inaano ko na sa sarili ko na maybe my story can help someone realize their potential too. Na kasi yun ang ano ko Butch, I'm a regular person. I don't have connections. I didn't have, I didn't come from the schools na preferred. I didn't have anything to back me up in order to realize this dream. And I look regular, I'm a normal person, pero alam ko na karamihan sa atin are like me. We are the majority. People who look like me are the majority. So bakit hindi nabibigyan ng pagkakataon, 'di ba? So yun that's the reason why I'm talking about it now.
Okay, you said that nung maliit ka, nagtatago ka doon sa family ng father mo. Ngayon, kumusta ang relationship mo with the family?
Okay naman. They know, of course. They know of me, and eto nga, meron akong pinost recently sa Instagram kasi my dad really had a lot of kids na alam mo yung 70s style na patriarch, yung patriarchal
level, ganon. Parang level.
Revilla level, ganyan. Kasi alam mo, my daddy look like Dante Rivero. Kaya nga pag nakikita ko si Dante Rivero, naalala kong tatay ko eh. Kasi ganun ang niya, ang itsura niya. And he was this rich and powerful man during his time. Kaya nagkaroon lang siya ng reversal of fortune, pero talagang may kaya ang family and all that. So ang daming and then recently I've had 2 instances na nagsabi sa akin na kapatid mo ako. Tapos itong recently lang nagkita kami sa Utah because I was there for Sundance Film Festival. Like a couple of years ago, someone called me and she said, I'm your sister. Sabi ko, sino to? Tapos yun nga, nag-anuhan na kami kung sino siya. And then grabe rin yung pinagdaanan niya, lahat kami. May kuminsan kasi nang hindi nare-realize, and I've forgiven my dad. I've made peace with everything that he did and what happened before. And he, for all his faults, he was kind and charming. That's the reason why, he had a lot of women.
He had so many kids.
He had so many kids.
Yeah.
Pero
do you remember I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, pero yung effect na ginawa na nangyari out of that is ang daming suffering that happened with the kids. So that's a lesson for all the guys out there, and of course the women too, because they're consenting, is think of the children.
Pero kung do you remember your last conversation with your dad?
Oh yeah, I even wrote about, because this is how I process my feelings, because I don't go to therapy. So I write about it. I wrote an essay that I just meant for myself, and then I put it in my personal Facebook. And thankfully, because that's how Facebook is, yung mga kakilala mo nung bata ka pa nandoon, so they know the background of it. There was this one time na he went to me, and at that time I was already working in Jollibee, kasi that's how I supported myself in college, was Jollibee. Doon din kami nag-meet ng asawa ko sa Jollibee. I was a cashier and he was a busboy. So he went there and niyaya niya ako na lumabas, and so we went sa Baclaran, naglalakad kami, and then ina-explain niya, sabi niya kasi ang mami mo naman ang ayaw na nung time na yun, kaya daw siya umalis na. So he disappeared from my life. no support, no whatever. So that time, tapos ina-explain niya, you know, giving his side. And then ililibre niya ako, parang in that one, yung paglalakad namin na yun, parang he's trying to make up for it. Nararamdaman ko naman. But I felt how run down, how worn he was by life. Parang, you know, this is not the life that he imagined himself would be. You know, he still looked good for a man his age, but alam mo na he's struggling, and I knew that at the time he was struggling and he couldn't afford to spend anything. But you know, like pag may nakita sa akin, oh, bumili ka ng barbecue, kumain ka, ganyan. Parang he's trying to make up for everything. And the thing with me and my dad is that I never go to him. He's the one who comes to me. And like my other half siblings na ano, they sought him out. Ako, I never seek him out. And so parang he had this impression na hindi ako trying to get close to him, and I wasn't impressed by him at all. And to my mom's credit, my mom always said great things about him, but you know, so yun ang last namin na conversation, and parang he's trying to make up for lost time, but you know, lost time is lost time.
Well, at least you had that time in Baclaran, okay na rin siguro yun.
That's why that is the best memory I have of him, the last, and it was also the best. So I'm glad that he took the time.
Yung your mom passed when?
About 4 years ago. Yeah.
Sorry to ask, but were you there or?
No. I'm sorry, 5 years ago, and then my sister followed a year after. No, my so may sakit siya, and then kasi parang meron na siyang dementia at that time. Ano na, so may mga nakakalimutan na siya, and she was 83 at the time. So she lived a long life, a lot of it hard, but I'm just happy na, you know, alam niya na I did my best to.
Pero nakapag-usap kayo before she went?
Oh yeah, like on the phone. Kasi ilang beses na siyang na-hospital, so I went home, and then nakalabas na siya, and then pagkalabas niya, like few days after then, or a week, mabalik ulit siya sa hospital, and you know, she passed.
And your sister, so soon?
Yeah, that's the one. And I'll tell you a story kasi, 'di ba, you know, as journalists, we separate our personal from the professional. But this happened, you know, when my mom passed, so umuwi ako and took care of the funeral and all, and then I went back. Pagbalik ko dito is I had an interview with Keanu Reeves for John Wick 2. And you know, you're still in grief because, you know, you're still, but you're just trying to do your job. So when I enter, I'm like, ganyan, usual, ganyan. And I don't know, like in the middle of it, I had this sudden realization na, what am I doing? And then pero yun namang story kasi ng John Wick 2 is he's grieving for his wife. And then and I know, because of my research, that also Keanu Reeves has suffered personal losses too. So I asked him, you know, I said, you know, how do you deal with grief? And then, you know, he answered in such a way na parang it calmed me down. Kasi yung sinabi niya na yung grief daw is parang it contracts and then it expands in different times of day. So you just have to kind of deal with that when it happens, kapag nagko-contract siya tsaka pagka lumalaki siya. And he never knew why I asked this, the reason why I was also grieving. And then with my sister naman, because I was in New York for How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and this was with Benedict Cumberbatch. So, I was doing, nagte-text pa ako sa kanya the night before. Sabi sa kanya, nasa New York ako, meron akong ang laging sinasabi, mag-ingat ka, ganyan, 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 ganyan. And then all of a sudden, I have a phone call from my sister's partner. My sister was gay, so she's a lesbian, and so she has a partner na 10-year partner na niya, 10 years na sila, and she also has an adopted daughter na talagang mahal na mahal ko. So when she called, sabi ko, bakit ka tumatawag? Sabi niya, na heart attack pala yung kapatid ko. So while I was dealing with that, I had to go and do my interview with Benedict because I cannot cancel that already. It's like 1 hour. So I had to walk from my hotel to the interview. And I was like, here I am trying to make sense of the world and what's going on, and trying to be festive because it's a Christmas movie.
Yeah, it is Christmas. Yeah.
So I went there and talking to him about happy times, about the time that he, his Christmas memories and all that. And inside I was dying. I was like, I knew in my heart that I've already lost my sister. And so when I went out, nasa coma na siya. And then when I went home to LA that night, wala na. And that's kasi at least sa nanay ko, I had time to prepare because, she's older. But with my sister, that was really... And my sister is the one that I grew up with. We had different fathers, but never in my life na ano kami, na it was just very difficult. So until now, I'm still grieving them. In a way, lagi ko naisip, kaya nga uuwi ako ngayong May. Parang to me it's depressing because thinking na wala na akong uuwian sa kanila. Because the last 2 times that I was there was both to bury them.
Yeah, that's sad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, teka muna. Okay. Ito na, balikan natin. Tama ba research ko na kaya ka nakapunta ng Amerika was because of Jollibee?
Yes, my husband was a manager at Jollibee in Guam.
So tapos nagkaroon ng green card, and at mula the way I understand, dun mo after Jollibee, nagamit mo na yung napag-aralan mo as a writer.
Yes.
Okay. And then from there, LA na.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
Paano yung break mo na si Jing Reyes ang naka-discover, kumbaga, siya ang discover mo?
Yeah. What happened? Kasi there was this story. It's a very tragic story of a Filipinos working at Warner Brothers, and she was abducted. So yung buong family niya was and they live in this place na near to my place. So it was on the news for quite some time, and I was filing like exclusive stories for Philippine News. This is the national newspaper for Filipino Americans here at that time. At the time, yun ang pinakamalaki. So I was filing, and kahit na you know how much they pay me per story? $50. So yung gas mo at saka yung time mo, abonado ka pa.
Oo naman. Yeah. Hindi masyado malayo mararating ng $50.
So that time I was working as nagtatrabaho ako sa Red Ribbon Bake Shop as selling cakes sa Red Ribbon sa Hollywood. And But on the side, kasi nga gusto ko I wanted to be a journalist. So yung ginagawa ko on the side yun. But I was filing that story. And so for the vigil, the tragic loss, Jing came here. And nakita niya that I was talking with the police, with the detective in charge, kasi kilala ko na from my filing stories. Na lumapit sa akin si Jing, sabi niya, pwede ba akong sumama dun sa interview mo? And I said, yeah, of course. So yun. And then I think she liked what I was doing. So sinabi niya, binigyan niya akong card niya. And then when I went home, like a day after, meron siyang voicemail na sinabi niya na, we should meet up and ganyan. Baka gusto mag-contribute. So from that time on, nag-contribute ako sa, and it was tough at first, but it happened.
So yung buhay ngayon na established na sa Amerika, like ngayon, your daughter is still in school or
graduate na?
College, graduate na. So yeah, she works in casting and other things, entertainment. Yeah. So ganun yun din. Parang Hollywood din ang niya, ang naging career. Okay.
Yeah, but she also went back to school for something else kasi mahirap ka ang entertainment career, so she wants to have a fallback.
So in other words, masarap na buhay ni Yong Chavez ngayon.
Well, masarap is relative, but I would say that this is something that I never thought I would describe myself as, but I'm content. That is something. It's a lifelong dream to be able to say that I'm content, and I am.
I think that's the true mark of happiness pagka kontento ka. I think yun naman yun, no? And then, tapos, and great things are coming for you. Parang, I understand, magkakaroon ka na award. Is this Press Woman of the Year ba yun?
Well, nominee. I'm a nominee. So there are like, I think 6 nominated for the Publicist Guild of Hollywood. So this is a very powerful Hollywood organization na made up of powerful publicists ng malalaking artista and studio dito sa Amerika. And for some reason, I until now I don't know who nominated me. So last year then I was nominated, and this year I'm a repeat nominee for International Media Awards. So there are several Ireland, Australia, United Kingdom. I forgot kung saan yung iba, and then there's me from the Philippines.
Well, again, we're proud of you. Talaga namang Pinoy pride. Pero okay, kasi palapit ang Oscars, no? Dare to give any forecast?
I think that for best, alam mo, and this is just the thing with the Oscars is ang paiba-iba sila ng ng ihip ng hangin. But I think that Austin Butler will win for best actor for Elvis, and for best actress, to me it's still a toss up between Michelle Yeoh and Cate Blanchett. So Michelle Yeoh for Everything Everywhere All at Once, and then Cate Blanchett for Tar. Yun ang
pag nanalo mo si Cate Blanchett, pangatlo na yan, di ba?
I know. Kaya nga sabi ko, sana naman pagbigyan niya si Michelle.
Ang Asian yun.
I know. At saka, well-deserved naman. Dalang galing-galing niya sa Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah, and then sa secondary categories.
I think it's swak na si Ki Huy Kwan for Everything Everywhere All at Once. And then for Best Supporting, ibang nila sa Oscars, but I think Angela Bassett can still score a win, and they will follow the Golden Globes slate for that.
Best Picture.
Best Picture. That's something that sa tingin ko, Everything Everywhere All at Once can take it. tingin ko lang depending on the politics of Oscars because minsan sa Oscars politics din eh.
Okay. Pero ito naman, sa tingin mo, having stayed long enough dyan sa Hollywood, ang Pilipinas, what do you think we should be doing para finally makapasok tayo sa Oscars?
Is in terms of foreign film, the international feature, I think that alam mo, I had such great hopes for On the Job 2. Yung pinasok nila this time.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they were so late in their campaign for it to make any difference. And very limited lang ang reach nila. And I know that they tried a little bit. Pero hindi talaga kasi ang campaign sa Oscars, it's months long. Hindi pwedeng pupunta ka lang dito like for a couple of weekends and that's it. Matagal yun na proseso and you have to really choose the best way to spend. Kasi ang ibang bansa, suportado sila ng government nila. I think yun ang difference sa atin. Hindi yata supported masyado ng government. Although I know that Tirso Cruz III is helping out with the FDCT. Pero yung talagang full blast na support na unlike other countries na talagang full blast sila ng pag-support sa best picture nila. Also, yung choosing nga sa atin ng best picture, minsan hindi ko maintindihan kung how they go about it.
Yeah, galing ng Film Academy of the Philippines ang organization that sila yung namimili ng judges kung sino yung papadala sa Oscars.
So may politics din. That's
wala kasi yeah. No. That much I can tell you because I sat there for quite a number of years. Wala naman kasi wala kang mawawa pala, wala kang naman. Ang habol mo na lang talaga manalo ang Pilipinas. Kung politics wala. Yeah.
So that's great. That's great to know. But I thought kasi yung story and I watched it yung On the Job 2. I thought it had a really great
I think it's
talaga siya.
Magandang choice talaga yung On the Job.
Yeah, kaya lang yung yun nga, like I said, you have to be able to and I was there when they had I moderated the Q&A because they showed it for the Asian World Film Festival. Where I served as a juror for the Hollywood Foreign Press short film. So when they showed it, sabi ko, yung reaction ng audience is, I like it. Kaya lang yun nga, they need to be able to reach to the voters. And they need to create a buzz long before the voting.
Yes. Sige. We will keep that in mind. Okay.
Yeah.
And kasi we really need that kasi for the longest time nagpapakamatay na talagang Pilipinas na makapasok sa Oscars and I guess hindi naman ganoon kasimple kasi kailangan mo talaga ng pondo. Malaking pondo para diyan, ano.
Pero you can do it like guerrilla style in terms of ngayon everything is digital. So they can really just kailangan lang talaga coordinated ang efforts and it has to be kailangan may plan na. So ngayon pa lang may plan na kayo by start of July to and then to send the film to international film festivals. That's the reason why some people are able to watch yung ibang mga jurors are able
importante magligid siya.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyway,
and also I think it helps like for me now I'm in several critics group. As soon as I know na meron, ipopromote ko na. So yung mga ganun, it matters.
Yeah. Ayun ako. Kaya please help us, hanggang sa abot na makakaya mo.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. Tell me, as soon as possible, pagka meron ka na masabihin mo na sa akin na, okay, this is the movie na watch out for it. And then, so I can already start telling people na mga colleagues ko dito na, oh, watch out for this Philippine
Pag
film.
na-discover, pagka meron ng imamarites ko sa iyo agad. Anyway, Yong Chavez, please invite our viewers sa mga proyekto mo.
Maraming salamat po. Sana po panoorin ninyo ang TFC at saka TV Patrol at lahat po ng aming programa sa ANC. And maraming salamat sa suporta ninyo, kapamilya, through all this time na marami kaming pagsubok na hinaharap, nandiyan pa rin kayo. Salamat also to everyone who has supported me from day one personally, who told me na, like yung mga young students who reached out to me and said na it's inspiring to see someone like me doing this thing. Sana panoorin niyo itong interview ko kay Butch because this is the first and probably the last that I will be talking about myself.
Parang tinodo ko na.
Tinodo mo na kasi kaya nga sabi ko parang, that's the reason why I was like, okay, this is someone that I trust. And to be honest with you, Butch, I have to tell you this. Like growing up in the Philippines, and I see you like Star Talk and show Jingle. Oh my God!
Thank you.
Okay, parang sabi, and this is kung ano yung tumatak sa isip ko is that kasi parang kasi lagi nilang minamaliit ang showbiz, 'di ba? Like even like parang sasabihin, it's not something that you should aspire for. Kung gusto mo, dapat mag-doktor, mag-lawyer, ganyan. But like showbiz journalism, parang hindi mataas lagi ang paningin ng iba. But so when I was like, but look at Butch, sa isip ko noon, sabi ko, this is a smart guy and he's doing this, and he's great at it. He knows how to connect yung sa subjects niya, and he knows what he speaks up. So that was a great moment for me to realize na this is something that I can aspire for.
And I'm starting to blush. Anyway, kausapin na namin si Janine Gutierrez at si Paul Avellino for the dramatization of your life story. Okay?
Oh my God, yeah.
Anyway, thank you, Yong, and regards to everyone there in the Valley.
Salamat ng madami.
Thank you.